OneWeb has launched the first 6 of 600 satellites aiming to bring global broadband satellite internet to the world. Hi, I'm Chris with the Mobile Internet Resource Center, here to share some big exciting news in the satellite internet world. A company called OneWeb has just completed their very first launch, and they have some truly ambitious plans. So OneWeb is a startup company that's being funded by billionaire Richard Branson, and a lot of other companies have invested in it, and they've got serious backing. And we've been covering them and tracking them for several years, since back in 2015 when they signed a contract to start building some satellites. And well, they've now accomplished that. They've got their first satellites have been launched into orbit. So what makes OneWeb different is they are building a low Earth orbit constellation of satellites that will have 600 satellites working together in orbit around the Earth to provide, their goal is to provide broadband internet to everyone everywhere. It's a lot of satellites to get off the ground though, so what OneWeb's big innovation is they're kind of following in the lessons of Henry Ford, who did not invent the automobile, but his innovation was building an assembly line and figuring out how to make automobiles cheaply and quickly. So OneWeb, their innovation is how to make 600 satellites quickly, cheaply, and efficiently and get them into orbit. They have actually set up a factory and they are mass producing all these satellites that they're going to need. Their goal is to build 10 a week and to start doing launches once a month, every 21 days. So they're going to be cranking out the satellites, and to get them all up there rather than 600 different launches, they're actually developed a module that looks like a corn cob, and the 32 satellites will pop off like kernels popping. And so 32 satellites per launch, 20 launches ahead of us, and well, by the end of 2020 they hope to have their 600 satellites in place and be able to provide global broadband service. Now, the catch with satellites in low Earth orbit is they are moving through the sky pretty quickly. If you were looking up and you could see them, if you had X-ray eyes, you'd see them shooting across the sky, and kind of hard to aim at a satellite that's moving like that. So OneWeb's other innovation is they've been working on the antenna technology to do flat panel electronically aimable antennas, and they've actually just shown off a prototype of a 5-inch by 5-inch tiny little flat antenna that can, without physically moving, track and aim at their satellites as they're flying overhead. And well, flat antennas, flat electronically steerable antennas like that have existed at the military scale, and Kymeta has been showing off an antenna that costs about $10,000 that can do that. OneWeb's tiny 5-inch antenna, they say, is only going to cost them $15 to manufacture. So cheaper satellites, cheaper antennas, and potentially, cheaper broadband service that can cover the entire world. Now, they still have a long way to go to get there. It's a very ambitious project. We're not going to be able to see much until it takes 600 satellites to cover the Earth, so it's going to take a while before they can start to roll out global service. But because the satellites all kind of cross at the poles, they'll actually be able to roll out service in the very northern latitudes before the rest of the world, and they're promising that Alaska will be the first place to see OneWeb service, potentially in demo form by the end of 2019. So we're going to be watching this. This was the first launch of their satellites. I sent up 6 yesterday. These are going to be kind of the trial to make sure everything works with the launcher, with the corncob deployer, and the satellites. They're going to spend a couple months testing them, and if all goes well, come August or September, they're going to start this monthly pace of cranking out satellites and building this network, and it will be very exciting to watch and see it come together.
These videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.